Okay. Hello. I am doing my book report on Teach Like a Pirate, written by Dave Burgess. I think it's an awesome book. I had a really good time reading it, and I'm excited to share some of my thoughts with you. As far as a quick summary of the book, kind of the theme or main idea that he portrays is to increase student engagement, boost your creativity, and transform your life as an educator. I feel like he did a good job of doing this throughout the book, but I'll kind of go through some of the ways in which he does that. So, first of all, he explains what it means to teach like a pirate. There's kind of an acronym for pirate, and those include passion, immersion, rapport, ask and analyze, transformation, and enthusiasm. So I could talk about each one, but one of them that stood out to me was immersion. Now, he said that as the teacher, you are the classroom. You need to be fully engaged in whatever's going on. So there's no moment where you can like step aside and work on other stuff. Like you should be 100% there with the students every minute of the class. So after he goes through all of those different things and what it means to teach like a pirate, which basically means unconventional teaching, engaging the students, making your classroom different and unique. After he goes through that, he talks about how you can craft engaging lessons as a pirate would. So he goes through kind of the specific steps. And then lastly, he talks about building a better pirate, how to always be building ourselves up as teachers and continually improving. As far as strengths and weaknesses of the book, I definitely felt there were more strengths than weaknesses personally. Some of the strengths were that what he teaches feels like it's easily adaptable for lots of different types of teachers and subjects. It's a very loose yet specific instruction. It is definitely geared towards helping to engage students, which I feel like is very helpful. And I love that he gives specific examples. He doesn't just give this list of do this, do this, do this, and then doesn't show you how to. As far as weaknesses, while it is really adaptable, it's definitely written by him and his personality. So there's a lot of things that I personally would have to change a little bit from how he did it, just because it's not me. But he did it great. And then another weakness was I felt like some of the strategies might be hard to implement in like a math class or something like that, where it can be a little bit harder to be as creative and out of the box. But I don't know, maybe math teachers can figure that out. Topics from class that relate to what is taught in the book. First of all, I thought of intrinsic motivation because his goal is to help students want to be there in the classroom and to be excited and come back wanting more. This definitely, he talks about like one of his, like under the ask and analyze section of the book, he tells teachers he wants them to ask themselves are there students who want to come to their class and come to these lessons because they want to, or are they coming because of an attendance policy? And, our goal should be to be creating an environment where students come because they want to be there. The next one is academic safety. He definitely instills the rule of not being mean. He said on his second day of class, they had like a class discussion, argument, debate, but he doesn't go through a long list of procedures of how we handle a debate or anything like that, but he just really hammers in the fact that we are not mean. We are nice and we are kind and we are not mean. And he describes that if we do that, then like everything else will fall into place and we'll be able to have a safe classroom environment. Lastly, he talks a lot about being creative in lots of different ways. One thing specifically, like this picture, is in like he loves using Play-Doh in the classroom, allowing students to express themselves and to show what they're learning. An application in social studies, one of the things he talks a lot about is providing diverse ways of learning and different hooks that reel the students in. So one of his specific examples was non-linguistic opportunities for students to respond to materials that they learn in class. So, and some of the reasons for this are that it can help create a deeper understanding, having different visual representations as well as oral and lots of different ways of learning, and also can help with retention. Now, if students have different ways of expressing themselves, they'll then use that information later and be able to remember it easier. So one specific application that I thought of was if we were having a like unit on the Revolutionary War, went through lots of different battles and talked about what happened in them, the context. Then at the end, we could ask each student to choose a battle that stood out to them and then create a visual representation of that. Whether it's a drawing, a painting, something different, like some sort of visual that helps represent what's going on in that battle. Okay, here is my demonstration about an activity that we could do in the Revolutionary War unit. So, all right, guys, I'm so excited. Now that we've had this really fun opportunity to learn about the Revolutionary War, we're going to do a little reenactment. I'm sure you've seen some of these before on TV and stories, but we're going to have our own reenactment in our class. So what's going to happen is this side of the classroom, you guys are going to be like the American side. You guys are going to be the British, okay? So you're each going to have some ammunition to take with you into battle. But the way it's going to go is you're going to, we're not moving around. The armies would go, they'd find their spot, they'd set up camp, and that's where they were. So we're going to go out. You're going to make 3 lines with your own army. You're going to have a line standing up, a line kneeling down, and then some on the floor sitting behind them. So we're kind of building a wall. And then we're going to have that on both sides. You're going to have 5 pieces of paper. So we'll grab scratch paper on the way out. And each piece of paper is like a bullet, okay? And you only get 5. Now, we're limited on ammunition these days. We don't have a lot of funding. So, just like in the Revolutionary War, they didn't have automatic weapons, anything like that. So, every time you want to use your gun, you're going to have to load it and get it ready, and that takes some time. So, what you're going to do is your commander is going to say ready, and your whole army is going to crumple up their piece of paper, get ready. Then they're going to say aim, get ready, and then fire, and you're going to throw your piece of paper at the other army, okay? If you get hit by a piece of paper, you're out. We're going to see how long it takes. We go one side and then the other. So this side goes ready, aim, fire, shoots. This side ready, aim, fire, shoots, okay? So the team standing the longest will be the winners. Afterwards, I want you to think about what makes this activity hard, what makes it easier, what are the strategies, how can you win, and then we'll come back and talk about it afterwards. Okay, so the reason that activity is a demonstration of the principles in Teach Like a Pirate is because he talks a lot about having activities that are interesting and engaging, get the students up out of the classroom. He says, not every teaching opportunity needs to be sitting in a desk in your classroom. There might be other places on campus that are better equipped for that. And so for this activity, we would have gone outside on the lawn, done something new, had the students participate in the activity, so then they have a better opportunity to retain the information. And then have a discussion afterwards and kind of tie back in what they learned. As far as my recommendation, I would very highly recommend reading Teach Like a Pirate. I feel like I learned a lot from the book, and it helped me kind of open up my mind to there's a lot of different ways you can do things. And I want to break outside of my comfort zone, try some new stuff. And I think that it would be really beneficial for you too.